Hey everyone, this is Justin with Atlas, back again in our injury prevention video series. Our theme for August is physical activity. And one thing that we're going to do is we're going to ramp up and get ready to go for our 5K race that's happening in September. And that's a big focus for us for September. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about returning to running, and whether that's you're starting running for the very first time, or you took a brief or long hiatus and you're trying to get back into it and ramp back up. When I think about getting started or restarting a running program, I think about it in three phases. And that's prepping to begin, starting slow once you do actually start going on runs, and making sure you're spending enough time recovering. For prep, one of the first things that you need to do is making sure that you have proper running shoes. You want to wear a pair of running shoes that fits comfortably and are the right type of shoes for your foot and running style. Consider visiting a specialty running store to get fitted for the best shoes for you. If you're starting with an old pair of shoes, make sure they're not too worn down. Worn down shoes increase the chances of running injuries and overuse injuries. We should also consider establishing a baseline of strength before we actually start a running program. So I use start with strength. Starting with strength means spending about 2 weeks or more before your running program doing strength training designed for runners. Okay? That's getting in the gym, even doing home workouts, body weight workouts, and making sure you're strengthening those muscles that you need to support you during your running. If you're unsure where to start with a strength training program for runners, please reach out to us, speak with one of your Atlas providers, and we can help you out there. We also want you to start slow. Start your running program by combining running with intervals of walking, or even just start by briskly walking and increasing that pace as you go. For many new runners, starting slow and increasing your pace is the best way to build endurance with less stress on the joints and a manageable intensity level. Start by alternating maybe 1 minute of running with 1 minute of walking. Slowly increase the time you spend running until you become more comfortable, and then you can cut down the time you spend walking. Also, your running workouts might be challenging in the beginning, and that's okay, but they shouldn't be so hard that you never want to run again. During each workout, keep a comfortable conversational pace. If you can't speak in full sentences, please slow down. When we talk about recovery, the first step to recovery is ensuring you're spending adequate time warming up before your runs and then cooling down after your runs. We're going to get more into this as the month goes on, but plan on starting with 3 days a week or so of running, and use your off days to actively recover. Whether that's walking, biking, using a sauna, stretching, do something mildly active that's not going to increase any soreness and should help you flush out some of that soreness as well. Now that you've started running, let's talk about running form and how to run properly. Let's start with your posture. I want you to be upright, long, tall, and confident. I want your pelvis or your hip bones to stay neutral, not tilting too far forward or backwards. And I want your shoulders back and down, comfortable and relaxed is the important part there. I don't want your shoulders shrugged up at your ears. I want them down and back and relaxed. They also shouldn't round forward too much. And you also want a natural arm swing. You shouldn't be focusing too much on an aggressive arm swing. I want that arm swing to come naturally with your gait. We also want to make sure that we're striking the ground properly with our foot strike. And our goal here is we want a midfoot strike. We want to be right on the balls of your feet, but not too high up on your toes. When you're too high up on your toes, that's going to add a lot of stress to your calf and your shin. But we also don't want you striking the ground with your heel. That means you're overstriding, or you're kicking out a little bit too far with each stride in your run. That can also increase the chances of overuse and stress injuries. Lastly, in starting a running program, I want you to be mindful of your nutrition and your hydration. If you start a running program, you'll realize very quickly that what you drink and what you eat is going to influence your runs and how you feel before, during, and after that run. Okay. First is hydration. Drink water when you feel thirsty. Be mindful of your thirst levels and make sure you're getting enough liquid in. Monitor your urine color regularly. Every time you use the restroom, check out your urine color. It should be a light, clear-ish, yellowish color, not too dark, but also you don't want it perfectly clear. You want that light yellow color. Now let's talk about your hydration while you're running. Consider drinking 4 to 8 ounces of water per every 20 minutes that you run. If you don't have access to water on your running routes, you should carry your own fluids with you. When you're running more than 90 minutes at a time, you should consider getting some electrolytes in. You lose water through sweat, whether it's cold or hot out. You should drink before, during, and after your runs. And with that sweat and water that comes out, you're also losing plenty of electrolytes. If your exercise is lasting longer than 90 minutes, some of your fluid intake should include a sports drink, like Gatorade or something similar, to replace the lost sodium and the other minerals, electrolytes, that you can lose during that 90-minute running session. Now, let's talk a little bit about nutrition. Nutrition is going to be different for everybody. Everybody has their preferences and dietary restrictions that they choose to follow or need to follow. While high-fat, low-carb diets are all the rage right now, carbohydrates are definitely valuable for runners. Complex carbs are great for fueling runs and giving steady energy. Your diet should contain about 65% healthy whole grains. Try to steer clear of processed foods and sugary carbs like sugar cereal. They can cause blood sugar spikes that have you hitting a wall before you reach the finish line. Healthy fats can also be very important for runners. Body fat is a key source for energy for runners and helps your body absorb vitamins. When you're running long distances, body fat is a backup source once you've burned up all your carbs, so it really helps keep you pushing during the later miles. Incorporate healthy fats found in chicken, coconut oil, avocado, fish, seeds, and nuts into your recovery meals. And while carbs and fats serve as the main fuel for runners, protein helps build strong muscles and aids in recovery after training runs and races. When you run, your body breaks down and your muscles and protein helps build it back up. We also want to make sure we're getting enough vitamins and minerals. Fruits and vegetables are packed with vitamins and minerals and have powerful antioxidants that provide anti-inflammatory properties, which should help reduce muscle soreness and prevent injuries in the future. Incorporate fruits and veggies into any meal or snack, but if you have stomach issues while running, consider not to eat them right before a run, especially raw fruits and vegetables. They're high in fiber and they can cause your stomach to not be so happy during your first few runs.